Some of you very, very lucky folks have been immersing yourselves in Halo Infinite's technical preview, which let a few lucky Halo insiders get hands-on with the new game's multiplayer ahead of its launch holiday this year. But since not everyone was able to make it, and because talking about Halo is just super fun, here's a quick rundown of everything we learned from that hectic weekend.
The technical preview was part of a process called flighting, where a selection of Halo fans are chosen to test out a limited section of the next game. Naturally, it's far from the final version of Infinite, so there may still be the odd bump here and there, but it's enough to provide a tantalizing taste of what players can expect when Master Chief's next outing drops later this year. And it's also a major part of how 343 Industries wants to make good on their promise to deliver a player-first experience with the new game, allowing fan feedback to help guide the whole process. I mean, they probably won't pay much attention if your feedback is that the characters should all be chickens or something, but sensible comments really will be taken on board.
The first port of call of most players during the technical preview was just to get to the settings menu, which maybe doesn't sound all that exciting, but it is stacked full of control input options, zoom sensitivity toggles, graphics settings, and a ton of other nuanced things which echo that player-first philosophy by letting you tailor Halo Infinite to your exact preferences. From there, most will have headed straight into the ARMOUR hall to pick between the different and also highly customizable ARMOUR cores. The new friend and foe system means that rather than forcing each team to play in either red or blue, which did get a bit tiresome beforehand, your enemies and allies will now appear on your screen with a coloured outline, a bit like you might see in something like Overwatch. It does make it easy for you to tell who's who without sacrificing the ability to paint your armour in whatever colours you like. On top of the various Spartan armour sets you'll be able to unlock, there will also be Fracture cores, which introduces styles from outside of the Halo canon. So if you were wondering about that samurai fella who turns up in the trailer, well, that's where he comes from.
You can then scoot over to the weapons bench and vehicle bay for more customization options, meaning that any firearm you scoop up and any vehicle you hop in during a game will be bearing your personal style. Speaking of weapons, the preview gave us plenty of fun toys to play around with, from returning favorites like the Needler to new additions like the face-melting Heatwave. On top of that, players also got to tool around with the new Halo 3 inspired equipment system, which allows them to utilize things like the drop wall, a portable shield which can be deployed anywhere to give you a handy tactical advantage, or you can just cower behind it while your teammates do all the work. You're cool. The preview also made it clear that there is a real element of risk versus reward to gobbling up power weapons and equipment in Halo Infinite 2. Whenever a piece of kit appears on the map, it'll be pretty loudly announced, so you might not want to plunge recklessly towards it, especially since getting taken out will leave your shiny new toy sitting there for anyone to pick up. What we're saying is, if you don't want to end up as the other team's delivery guy, try to exercise some caution, just a little bit.
Of course, even with everything the preview showed off, there were a couple of notable absences which had some fans asking questions. There's no split-screen multiplayer on offer this time around, though don't worry, 343 Industries have mentioned that split-screen is an integral part of the Halo experience and will absolutely still feature in the final game. But then there was also a hot-button topic of assassinations, the showy finishing moves which some previous Halo games have allowed you to pull off by sneaking up on your opponents. 343 have confirmed that they won't be included when the game launches, but they are hard at work to find a way of fitting them into the new game that feels organic and fair. So watch this space.
Just in case you haven't been following all that closely, here's a few big things we already know to expect from Halo Infinite's multiplayer. The first is that it will be totally free to play and support cross-play, meaning everyone and their nan will be able to get in on it. So you can expect there to be an absolutely thriving community as soon as the game launches. Which is good because Infinite will also see the return of Big Team Battle, allowing 24 players to duke it out at the same time, which sounds like the very definition of chaotic good, and we're here for it. And the other really big news so far is that while Infinite will naturally be a live service game, since that's what kids are all about these days, its battle passes won't expire, allowing you to complete challenges and unlock rewards at your own pace, rather than feeling compelled to grind stuff out. So when they say they're putting players first, they really do mean it.
If you weren't part of the last technical preview and this whole video has you turning green with envy, then don't worry, because there are more flights planned for the future. Although maybe do worry about the whole turning green thing, you're not a cartoon character and that definitely shouldn't happen. But what should happen is that you should head over to the Halo Waypoint website, register to become a Halo Insider, and claim your chance to be involved in one of the upcoming previews. Not only does it mean you get to check out the game early, but by playing, you'll actually be helping 343 Industries to make an even better Halo game. So everybody wins.
So, one action-packed weekend and many, many dead Spartans later, and this is pretty much where we're at with Halo Infinite. And we'd have to say it's all shaping up rather nicely, but there is still plenty more to be revealed between now and the game's full release, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to make sure you hear all the latest developments as soon as they happen. We'll see you next time.